Good morning, everyone. This is an NBC News special report. Just moments ago, the Supreme Court handed down its decision on a challenge to one of the nation's toughest restrictions on abortion. NBC Justice correspondent Pete Williams is outside the court. People are calling this the most significant ruling on abortion in 25 years. Pete, what happened?
This is a very big win for advocates of abortion rights. The Supreme Court, by a 5-3 vote, has struck down what was arguably the toughest abortion law in the country. This was a Texas law that said abortion clinics had to be built to architectural standards that were the same as walk-in surgical centers, and also said that doctors had to have admitting privileges at nearby hospitals. When the law was passed, the number of abortion clinics in Texas went from 42 to 19, a more than 50% reduction, and the advocates said if this law remained on the books, the total number of clinics in the state would go to 10. Now, it's a big deal for Texas, but there are a dozen other states that had laws similar to this, so they are now in big legal jeopardy too. Some of them were on hold waiting for the Supreme Court's decision. Here is why this was a very big deal. After trying for years to figure out some way to roll back the abortion right in Roe versus Wade, the opponents of abortion came up with this new method. Instead of restricting the options for the woman, for the patient, on waiting periods or having to have counseling or limiting when it was available, they tried a new tack and directed their attention instead at the clinics themselves. The state passed this law known as HB 2 with a very controversial vote. The state said it was necessary to protect women's health. But the opponents of the law said it was a pretext. It was nothing more than an attempt to make abortion more difficult to get. And a decisive win, the Supreme Court, by a 5-3 vote, struck the law down.
And Pete, in the past, the court has said that states can't put an undue burden on women seeking an abortion, but they hadn't defined what an undue burden was. They've now done that more carefully.
Well, the appeals court here set a very low bar. You're right. The rule here for well over a quarter of a century has been the states can restrict abortion as long as it's not an undue burden on a woman's right to choose. What the appeals court here said is, courts don't look very closely at that. If the legislature comes up with a rational basis, that's good enough. Close your eyes and accept it, and the Supreme Court said, no, that's not the analysis.
All right, as we've said, it is a major ruling on abortion. Pete Williams at the Supreme Court, as always, thank you very much. We're going to have more right now on MSNBC and NBCNews.com, and of course, more tonight on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. We will return most of you to more of Today. I'm Matt Lauer. This has been an NBC News special report.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.